Do you believe that there is extraterrestrial life out there? Why or why not? We tend to imagine extraterrestrial life as a high-tech civilization, but it doesn't have to be that way. I believe that life is inevitable, given the banality of our building blocks and how biochemical components naturally appear in so many ways. But microbial life is still life. Plus, even if there is a technologically advanced civilization, they don't necessarily have to exist in the same time frame with us. They might as well have risen to power a billion years ago, or their ancestors may haven't yet emerged from their own primordial soup. There is life out there, but maybe not what we expect. There is a neat theory that states that early forms of life, such as bacteria, are rather common in the universe. Complex life such as horses, birds and humans are rare because of the incredibly rare sequence of events and avoiding events that need to take place in order for it to exist. There's also the possibility that there were planets that reached high levels of life, but civilizations that get too advanced tend to destroy themselves, which is why we don't see evidence of them. There has been life on Earth for 3.5 billion years. Only for less than 100 years have we risked destruction from nuclear war or climate, environmental collapse, which weren't risks before modern technology existed. Yes. The universe is far too vast for one planet orbiting one star in one galaxy in particular to be the only one to have spawned life. There are aliens thinking if there is life other than them at this very moment, there's probably a planet out there that is made entirely of plastic and carbon dioxide, and they're having a problem with too much oxygen and organic matter getting out into the environment. Yes. I forgot get what scientist said it. Walk knee-deep into the ocean with an empty glass, fill the glass with water, there's no life in the glass, that means there are no whales in the ocean. That's where we are with space. We're too young of a civilization to know enough yet. My old history teacher told me years ago what I tell people now regarding this subject: I'm not smart enough to say yes or no, but it would be incredibly arrogant to believe that we are alone in an ever-expansive universe we know nothing about. If the universe and time are infinite, then somewhere along one temporal line or another, there is an Arcturus-sized blue Teletubby floating in space. Yes. There is life. I hope the frick not, because then all that universe is going to be tubby custard. Would that be, like, a sherbet flavor? There is a decent chance that there is life on another world in our own solar system, Europa and Ganymede. It is vastly improbable that there is nothing else but us here on Earth. I feel that life is probably a lot more common than we realize, but complex life like ourselves is probably very rare. Most of it would probably be microorganisms or simple animals and plants. I'm even open to complicated life. In a universe that infinitely grows and expands, there must be something. Isn't it also that the further away space is from us, the faster time flows? I might be wrong on this one though. But the thing is that in our lifetime there might have been 1,000 other species that lived and died, before we will ever discover them. And the reason why people probably don't believe as much that there's life out there is that we always compare everything to ourselves. How we came to be, how our cells reproduced. But damn, what if some other life just had another series of events and evolutions that lead to it? There's a theory known as the Fermi paradox that attempts to address why we haven't made contact, if there are any alien civs out there. There's several parts to it, but one part mentions that, probability speaking, if you calculate how common an Earth-like planet is, and then calculate how common the events that led to life are and add them together, it states that there are other civilizations in this galaxy. It does have critics but brings up some good points. The biggest reason for this is distance. It's still very difficult for us to understand, really comprehend, how far things are out in space. Just to get from one side of our own galaxy to the other at the speed of light would take about 53k years. That's one way. Yes, because the universe is massive and infinite. Not infinite, but it is still growing. But what happens if you get to the edge of the universe? Futurama taught us it's an infinite series of paradox universes. Futurama hasn't been wrong yet, so this shouldn't be thought of as if life is out there. The real question that should be asked is, will there ever be a time when two forms of life are existent at the same time? We might not be the first or the last, but we are right now. Yes, mathematically speaking, but not necessarily look or act the way we expect. But mathematically we are in a simulation. What if it's just our solar system in a sandbox and the rest is just a very high-definition animated screensaver? The easiest way to understand it is, let's say in 1,000 years we become technologically mature. We discover everything. We then digitize our consciousness. We could then run 1 million versions of your life in 1 second. While we can only run one version of your life in reality. So mathematically, talking probability, it is more probable that we are in a simulation than not. Whether we are or not is not something I can be asked to discuss. Yes. But I don't know whether or not there's intelligent life out there though. Considering we already have enough troubles locating signs of intelligent life here on Earth. What about that guy earlier today who added an inch to his IQ? That's pretty damn intelligent if you ask me.